If you've ever been standing in your shop feeling stuck or overwhelmed, exactly how I'm feeling right now, then this video is for you. Today we're going to try to gain some momentum. It's about helping you get unstuck and feel less overwhelmed, and we're going to do that by showing you how I work through that process so that we can gain forward momentum to get back in gear on our projects. I'm Mike. You're watching mykarsshop. Just like you, there's a whole lot more going on in my life than just building project cars, and the shop gets used for a lot more than just building project cars. I know you can relate to that. So we got some reining back to do before we can get going on the project. So the first thing is, like, I have all my garden hoses in here from blowing those out before we went on vacation over Thanksgiving, and well, there's just some stuff. So let's get this all taken care of, and I'll be back this quick. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but just getting that stuff away makes a huge difference in my feeling of overwhelm coming down. Now I got to decide what I'm going to do. I want to do something fun. I want to do something that's going to build momentum. I want to do something that's going to provide visual progress, and I keep gravitating back to this. Part of that is probably because today's episode that's airing right now is making this lower piece of trim. I think what I want to do is start getting this grill shell finished up, taking off the stainless. I do need to make one more piece of trim for up here, stuff like that. So let's get the bench back out and get this up on the bench and make a game plan. Oh, again, it's about motivation, right? So I think the place to start is to get this stainless off so that we can really evaluate the grill shell and what needs to happen with it. Remember that this isn't a show truck. It's a rat rod truck. We're not trying to make it perfect. We're just trying to make it done. It's something that my wife is going to drive. It's her truck. I'm building for her. So there is a timeline on this. She really wants to be driving this by next fall. So it's going to be a main focus project here on the channel, which means I need to keep hammering away at it. Don't worry, I'm going to be back on stitches real soon, and I'm going to be hammering away on the Forsyth real soon also. So all of that's coming, but this is our first episode of 2026, season 6 of MKS, and I thought starting out feeling stuck is exactly where I'm at because of coming out of Thanksgiving, going into Christmas, and just a whole bunch of personal stuff that's going on, and I think this time of year is something everybody can relate to. So first easiest thing to do to gain momentum is take the 2 screws out of this piece that I made and take that off. Simple, right? Again, it's about those little bites that move us forward. What I do is to just drill the screws out of this thing. So let's get that done. I already did one and it's going to go pretty quick, I think. I hope, as long as I don't break a drill bit. I broke a drill bit. All right, 3 drill bits later, I got it, and when one drill bit broke, I came down and punched a hole in it. No wonder I'm struggling today. We can fix it. That's not the point. It's just frustrating, to say the least. I got this little nub to get off up here. I think I'm going to take that one out with the cutoff wheel. And then this bottom piece should come off, and then there's just this piece here and this piece here and this piece here to come off. So dang it. Well, we get to demonstrate more about fixing stainless grill trim. You ever have one of those days? Yeah, should have stayed in bed. So what I did on these 2, although this one I can get at the backside, this one's a little harder to get at. I just drilled across, or I took my cutoff wheel and cut a cross in it, so hopefully I can get a drill in it now. For a split second, okay, I see. I thought I broke the drill bit, but I didn't. It actually, I had it cut down so much, it just peeled everything up. So I'm going to carefully get a little tink and see if I can tink. Okay, very good. We didn't damage anything. Let's see if we can nip it off. Here we go. Hole is just a little teeny bit messed up, but it isn't going to matter because it's going to be covered up by a bolt head anyway. That's going to clean up nice. Yeah, we got some work to do. It's definitely got damage, not from stuff I did, and one piece of damage from what I did, which, full disclosure, sucks. Sometimes I just want to hide stuff from you, but I won't. Anyway, so I'm going to real quickly just tap this back out just a couple spots here, but it's got a huge gouge here. That's not from us, and everything else looks all right. Again, around that hole, it needs a little work, but you've seen me do tons of stainless work before, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to look good. Just that little hole ticks me off. Yes, we could fill that, and we might. We'll see what happens once we get it tinked back out. I want to at least get it roughed in. There we go. Massive improvement. The hole actually filled right back in again. That's going to almost disappear. The dent that was down here, I got roughed out. It needs more work. We'll do an episode on this. This is going to polish up nice. So, yep, very good. Oh, we got a little mucking up in here I got to fix real quick. I'm going to go ahead and do that too. Again, I'm not showing you all that right now because that's not the point of today's episode. There's a whole playlist on fixing stainless. You can see me do all that work. We will be doing an episode on all of this grill stuff at some point. So I think the rest of this stuff I should be able to get from the backside. These here, I couldn't possibly. This one was really tough to get at down in there. I couldn't fit the grinder in. That's why I took them off from this side. So if you're questioning, why he's turning over, just turning. Yeah, well, because he couldn't. So these I should be able to get at from the backside. So let's flip it. Flip it good. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Boy, those are going to be a bugger, but I think we can get in there. These two we should be able to get in no problem. This one's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I think we can do it. There's no way I could have got down here on this one with this all this structure down here. So, all right, I'm going to get those done. We'll be right back. Okay, all the stainless is now off. So I might have been able to get at that one from back here, but I think it's better that I didn't. But these all came off no problem. So I'm going to put all this over here. And I started digging into, okay, what do we got to do next? And I got myself so overwhelmed with what needs to be done next. That's the point of today's episode. Again, it's not about what I'm doing, but rather sharing the process of what I'm going through. And some of you who aren't in this headspace are going, oh, just shut up and stop whining and get it done. Well, that's all well and good, but that's not the headspace that I'm in. And I think most of us go through things like this. So I see we got, breakage up here, breakage here that needs to be dealt with. There's a dent down there. I have to make a decision. Am I going to break all of this down into its components, or am I just going to leave it all together? Context of the project, right? We're not doing a restoration on this. That's not the point. We're trying to get this done as quickly as possible. We want to prevent further deterioration, but I don't want to turn this into a huge restoration project like the Stitches Challenger. That's not the point of this truck. So it's hard for me to not go in here and take out all these bolts and take all this grill into its individual components and all that stuff. It really is hard, but I'm not going to allow myself to do that. We're going to slam bam it. We're going to, I think next I'm going to fix the dents in the grill down there and get the grill bars straight, and we'll go from there. So let's work on that. We'll come up with a plan to get that straightened out down there and get those roughed back in. Again, it's about building energy and momentum and not being stuck. So this is what we're looking at is, I think our grill bars are okay up to about here, and then something hit it here and bent this and that and the other thing. So I have to determine how that damage happened. So we have, I think, 3 bars that are bent. These 2 are the worst. So that damage happened, I think, hitting it right in here. And so this is a result. I think by stretching this piece back and pressing down in here, we're going to get a lot of that taken out. I have a special, yep, it's over there. I have a special pair of vice grips for things like this. So I'm going to go get those. I also got to find my hat, and we'll get at it. I machined these up, oh golly gee, 30 years ago when I worked in engineering and machine shop. They're just 2 blocks of steel welded to, well, they're 2 blocks of steel machined with a step and then welded to a pair of vice grips. I use the daylights out of these things. Yeah. Absolutely. I want to show you this. Let me come over here and you can see as I'm squeezing this, these bars are pulling back into place. Okay. So let me squeeze this just a little more. But as I'm squeezing this here, watch these bars. See how that's pulling up and this one's pulling back? It's amazing how that works. I can't emphasize enough that evaluating the damage and then trying to reverse that damage makes all the difference. So now we just got to think we need to push in here and push in here. Yeah, let me get a hammer. That's getting hard on the ear balls. Let me get some ear protection. This one's really close. This one is probably going to need to be cut out and replaced, but for now, it's also pretty close. It's got this little whoop in it right here. That's going to be a bugger to get out. And this one still I haven't touched yet, but we're getting down there. So this piece here is part of my problem, is this is still bending this way, and it needs, the whole thing needs to be bent like this down in here. So let's work on that a little bit. Sometimes the best way to do something isn't to pound it, but it's to just physically force it. Yeah, it's coming a long ways now. Got a little whoop down here. Yeah, good. There's a lip that goes on here, so that's the beautiful thing. We can take, it goes against the fender here, yes, and there's a lip on the fender, so we can take and trace out the curvature that we think we need and put that piece back on there. But this is, again, just trying to rough it all in for now. Yeah, not too shabby. All right, let me put on my ear protection. Yeah, cool. Again, I'm not trying to make it perfect right now. I'm just trying to get it roughed in. So this one here, I got to get that bar bent up. That's going to be a challenge. Pretty close. Again, for what we're trying to accomplish today. I got one little piece up here that I need to straighten out. And yeah, no, we're good. Let's use this one. Okay. It's tedious work. That's close. Okay, let's flip it. Oh, jeez. That turned out amazing. Oh, yeah. As we say around here, it ain't perfect, but it's getting close to done. Little piece to pound up right there. This one's still bent down some, but that grill bar here, this piece needs to be cut out. And if I'm going to make it perfecter, then it needs to be cut out. But we have made a huge amount of improvement in that already. This one here actually looks pretty acceptable. Again, it's a rat rod truck. We don't need to make it, absolutely perfect. We just want to make it done. This one here's got a little bend down also, so we got to bring that one up. But our curvature here now is not bad. That will get finalized when we make the piece that's going to go on there. That's going to be a simple fix. We'll just take a piece of 18 gauge steel that's to the correct, and we'll put it on both sides all the way. We got to do the same thing on the fenders at some point, but yeah, this is coming along pretty good. Yeah, I really am pleased with that. Let's see if we can get this one up just a little bit. I think this one we're going to be able to do just like this. I got my finger stuck. Yeah, it's close. I got an idea. Let me get it something. We're going to have to do a little work on the backside there, but it's close. There's a whoop in there. Again, I'm not trying to make it perfect, but I do want it to look decent. Yeah, same thing over there. We got a little more to do, but it's mostly on that one that's got the big rust chunk in it anyway. So overall, she's looking pretty good in her overalls here. Cool. What's next? That's a good question. Deserves a good answer. I don't have one. Okay, this looks like another easy fix right here. So to clean that up a little bit, and we'll get this all welded back together on both sides. It's broken here and here. This is part of that floating front end thing I was telling you about when we were working on the grill shell or the grill support and stuff. This is the kind of stuff that happens when the front end isn't flexing properly. So I want to get my grinder out, clean that up a little bit, and then we can weld this up and get this pushed back down in place and get that strengthened back up again, and then we can do the same thing on the other side. Well, there we go. Got that side all welded up. It ain't pretty, but it's done. A lot of burning through. Anybody that tells you that you're not going to burn through is selling something, and it's usually something that's not legit. When you're working with rusty metal, it's a constant battle, but it's all filled up. All the holes are filled, so I'm going to get the grinder in there real quick, get that touched up, and then we can come over and get this side done too. I won't bore you with all of that. Let me get this ground up, and then I'll show you what we got. So there we go. Yep, looks good. It ain't perfect, but it's done. Let me get some to throw on there because I have some somewhere around here. There it is. And we will get it just, a little bit of, goes a long way. Good enough. Keep looking at this thinking I should take this all apart, and I might, but you know how it is. I'm trying not to bog this thing down into being a several-year project, and so you have to make compromises. That's just the way it is. Okay, same thing. That one's all welded up and roughed in. Looks pretty good, actually. I didn't get carried away trying to make it perfect. I just wanted to make it done. You heard me say that before. Yeah. So I need to make some decisions. Where am I going next? I keep waffling back and forth between splitting this off here, which is, where is it? Yeah, this This whole piece separates from this piece. So this here can come off of that. Becky was just out here. She's going away. She came to say, see you later. And we were talking about it. And I say, it's really hard for me not to dive into this and go, like I'm restoring it. And she said the same thing. Look, we can always take it back apart again later if we want to do a next level thing on it, right? She just wants to drive it. So context, heard me say that ad nauseum. Context of the project. Context of the project. Oh, you're gonna do it right the first time. Yeah, I hear it. In the context, this is doing it right. We're just trying to slam this thing together to get it on the road, without getting carried away in picking nits and all that stuff. So that's the challenge. It's not about what we accomplish sometimes. It's about the mind and getting us in a position to move forward with the next step. What I really need to be doing is getting this chassis table firmed up a little bit, make sure that I'm comfortable with it. I got one leg back there. It's not the leg, it's what it's sitting on. I need to change that because it's pretty solid, except for that back corner, it wiggles a little bit. And then get the chassis table close to level, which it already is. And then I need to get this frame down on the table and leveled. I picked up a bigger level and I just smashed it. And our frame is off just a little bit. It's a little bit low in the back right now. So it's got to come up about 1/4 of an inch or so in the back. And then we got to check our square and all of that. And that's what I need or want to be doing. But right now, I just needed to kind of regain some energy and some momentum. And that's really what today is about. Not the grill shell, but dealing with us in our human condition. So there you go. A little bit, a little bite, done. This is off. We straightened the dent, sort of. It's not perfect, but it's moving in the right direction, and we got those cracks welded up. I hope this can motivate you to break your projects down into just those little bitty bites. Little bitty bites matter. Every time you do one little inch of a project, it's one less inch you have to go back and do later. Even if it's not 100% complete, the fact is that if you took it 25% or 50% or 75% or even 90%, it's that much further along when you go back to take it the rest of the way, like the bars in here. So yeah, I've got one I want to cut out because it's rusted. I can live with them not being perfect as far as their bendage, but I don't want to have a big rust hole. This one needs to be banged up yet. But the point is, this grill no longer has this big old whop in it, and it's closer. I also have my stainless off, so someday when I just feel like sitting at the bench, when I get it cleared off, and tinking away on stainless and taking out dents and polishing it up to make it pretty, as well as if you haven't seen the episode on making this piece, not out of stainless, but out of regular steel, and we're going to get this finished up and polished up also. Again, it's all in the context of this truck. She wants to drive it, so I don't want to turn it into a 47 Ford project and make it a pristine high-dollar show car. That kind of paint job and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope that at this point you're feeling a little bit motivated, and rather than going on and watching kitten videos on TikTok or whatever, that maybe you shut this off now and go out in the shop and stand there for your own project with your own project and say, okay, what's some little stupid thing, even if it's just pushing a broom around, what's some little thing I can do right now that's going to make me feel like going to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. That's really what MKS is all about. All right, that'll do it. We'll catch you on the next one. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget, because it's important. Wow.